Morning. Happy Take Out the Trash Tuesday. Yesterday, a new channel, Michael, finally put out his Kalari panel. I'm glad he finally got to it because it was pretty good. It was scheduled originally for like a week ago, kept getting pushed, and finally happened yesterday. I might have to pause while I'm reacting to this video because the trash trucks are going to be rolling in and I do have a grocery delivery coming. So, anywho, let's get started.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Glory be said, I want my money back. I don't know what she's talking about. My phone's on charge, so I can't check.
I'm going to speed this up a little bit because it is a couple hours long, almost 3 hours long. So let's take a look at the settings here. Let's go to 1.5.
Hey, Punch Monkey. Punch Monkey was first. Coffee Girl.
Hey, Punch. Hey, Coffee.
Hey, Austin Ferris. Hey, Ann. I didn't even know I modded that account of yours. That's good. Oh, there's Ann.
Austin, Ann.
There we go.
Who's Ann?
There I am. Making dinner.
There she is. I was like,
Austin,
where did I Miss T?
Ann.
Austin Ferris. Kenny
Kenny D
D.
is here. Kenny D said, are you sure about this, Michael? Ask him why, but didn't answer me. Yes,
I think it's about me, maybe.
No.
He's like, hey, stupid round eye. Hi.
Hey, Miss T. Well, I don't think I've ever seen Miss T before.
Hi, Glorby.
Hi, Bali. Bali's great. Everyone go check out Bali. Bali said, yeah, I'm on the treadmill. I'm listening. Good evening, lovely peoples. Thanks for coming in, Bali.
Hi, Bali.
Hi, Bali.
Elizabeth's here, too.
Glorby.
Yeah, we're going to have like a party up here.
There's Bali. Hello.
Yeah, everyone go sub up to Bali. She's really fun. She does like...
Oh, there's our Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I miss you so much.
I miss you too. Where have you been?
I was live today. Oh, I know. When they talk about GP, I just can't, so I go in. I like the stream. Stay for a little bit. And, so it counts, and then I leave.
Hey, stupid round eye.
Yeah.
Hey, Ola. Miss T again. Okay, and also Ferris. Perfect. Okay, so tonight, I'm finally doing it. Hey, Capone Boxer.
Have you been working, Elizabeth?
Yes, thank you so much, Ola, for sharing me out.
Yes, I've been working all weekend.
What's up?
Hey, everybody. Hello, Miss T. Home Boxer.
Miss T.
Yeah. So we're just going to be watching Kalari tonight. It might be a little bit of a longer stream. Somewhere in the chat, I've also dropped her, I dropped a link in the chat of her, where's that here, of her Spoutable account. She posts on there a lot. I know she hasn't posted in about 6 days on YouTube, but she posts every day on Spoutable. So definitely click that link. Hey, Sherry. And you can...
I've never heard of that platform before. I think this is why some channels get in trouble with their parasocial relationships, because they're involved in so many other platforms in which they can have one-on-one discussions with people who are not great, right? And Kalari is one of those people who likes to use a bunch of other programs. For most of Girl World, it seems to be Discord.
Follow that along with her. We're going to be watching some older ones. We're going to be watching like her election meltdown. And I might just at the end, I might just go through all of her shorts just to see. I don't know. Hey, Simply Katie Walks. I don't know a lot about Foodie Beauty. And I know that's like her main rival or whatever. But we'll just get started and we'll just kind of react of her old stuff. I'm going to start with her old stuff and just work my way to the newer stuff. Hey, Castle.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Round Eye. Are you going to either Savannah or Huntsville?
I have no clue what that means. As always,
guess where he's going.
My PayPal is linked at the top. It's never required. I always appreciate it. Yeah, so it's there. If you guys feel free to donate, I would always appreciate it. Anyone have anything else to say before I start playing this?
I'm jealous. I've not watched Kalari very much, except what's on OWAP.
Hello, Castle and Simply Katie.
So basically what you have to know about Kalari is Kalari posts a lot of GoFundMes.
Yeah, saw that.
She lives in Michigan. I take it as she doesn't like white people, but her boyfriend is white, so it's very confusing. She plays the race card a lot. So don't come for me, Kalari, if you watch this. I'm not racist. Also, I just want to put out there, Kalari, Kevin Lang said there's an echo. Am I echoing?
I don't hear an echo.
I don't hear an echo.
It really doesn't matter, Michael, because she thinks that based on the fact that if you're white, if I'm white, then we cannot possibly understand what's going on with her, despite the fact that she's been holed up on her property now for about 4 years and never leaves.
I'm watching from the tub and there's an echo. Yeah, I'll try to speak up for you, Kevin. Sorry. Kevin's in the tub. LOL.
If you're watching for the tub, I can kind of understand why there might be an echo.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Basically, I'll say this before I even start watching Kalari. She is just a full-fledged liberal, and no judgment if you're liberal in the chat. But it's voters like Kalari is the reason why the Democrats no longer have control of the House, the Senate, or the presidency. It's voters like Kalari. So let's get started. We're just gonna...
He's not wrong. I mean, I've been doing political organizing since 2017. And I'll tell you, the most obnoxious people who turn away potential voters are people like Kalari. I'm just saying, I've been watching it going on for years. I've seen them infiltrate party positions, and it's ugly. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal on social justice type programs. So I don't know why everything needs to be so hostile coming out of this group.
Start with like a super old one of hers. It's literally titled Democrats Get Your Act Together. And this is what she used to look like. Well, her hair changes all the time. Hey, Random Fish. Hey, Truth. Hey, Jack.
Hey, Random Fish. Truth. Coffee Girl. Jack.
Hey, Jack. Hey, Fish.
Hola. I haven't had a chance to say hi to everybody. And I'm jealous.
Make sure y'all give a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Subscribe if you haven't already. And share it out if you don't mind.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Kalari on the stream. So we'll get started. This is one of her first like political rants. It's going to kind of go back and forth.
Hey everybody, Kalari Gamer Chick here, and I have to talk about this subject. It has been bugging me since yesterday, and I'm sure many others are feeling the same way as I do.
This is her talking about the 2016 election. Same, Miss T. I actually am a registered Democrat. I'll just put that out there. I don't care. But I'm not happy with the way the party's going. This is actually her talking about the 2016 election. She's been doing this for a while. This is also when she had teeth. I don't know what's going on with her teeth now.
At least in my followers. It is about the DNC. I have been very upset. I've tried to keep calm, but it's really hard because...
You know, for everybody who is upset with how the party is made up and, you know, who's in charge, start showing up to assembly district election meetings. You know, get people in at the base level. Start voting for central committee positions. Make sure that you're voting in people at the lowest levels. If you're unhappy with what's going on now, get your people in. That's what Bernie kept telling us, is to transform the party from within.
Because when you think about the way this party behaves, it's no wonder we lost last year. We are living in a state of fear. We have a party that is completely disorganized, completely at each other's throats over petty, stupid things, and no focus. But beyond that, I'm watching people say things like...
She wouldn't even know, because she doesn't attend meetings. She doesn't know. She doesn't attend her county central committee. Like, she just pulls the shit out of her ass.
The DNC primaries were rigged. Okay, let's get something straight about that right here. Let's nip this in the bud if we can, because I know this is not going to get through the thick skulls of those who are still touting this, despite the raging dumpster fire our country
exactly,
is right
Capone. That's why
because she just has to hold on to it.
It was actually somewhat normal back then.
4 million votes. She won 4 million votes. And if I can drop a little nugget right here, something that I'm not proud of, in the primaries, I gave a vote to Sanders because I was so tired of the two-party system.
That's how
and because of former
they're
friends that I
right
allowed
there.
to influence my thoughts at first and not doing my research, I nearly bought into the optics. I made up for it after the primaries, after I did my homework and realized that everything that was being said about Clinton was not but flash and optics. That this woman, who like most black women like me, took years of disrespect constantly from this country, still wanted to serve us, still is the most qualified person to lead us, and took BS from not just the opposition, who is a buffoon, but from her own side. She funded the DNC. She signed an agreement.
I have a feeling you're going to like this.
I don't think that that's a glowing flex, Kalari, that she basically bought the DNC that year.
And she honored it. And what does she get for her thanks? For nearly keeping this country out of chaos? She gets bros, broistas, and Dems trying to throw her under the bus, telling her to go away, saying things like, oh, maybe it was rigged, or it was rigged, Elizabeth Warren. You got your former friends and allies talking about, oh, don't call Trump supporters racist, Joe Biden. How are we not supposed to call people who condone Trump not racist when we've got the attack in Charlottesville that killed Helen Heyer and left people bloody and bruised? When we've got KKK marching not just 2 days.
Heather Heyer. But yeah, I'm sure you were really paying attention to that situation.
Ago. When we've got people who are equating peaceful protests to be anti-patriotic because it has to do with injustice done to black and brown people. You keep talking about unity, but you want us to unite with racists.
What injustice, though?
Basically, I'm taking it as, so she's referring here to the 2016 election. She's been on this kick since then. Basically, she's saying anyone who does not vote what she believes is like a little chubby Shirley Temple. Little Bolly said, everyone has their style and I'm not style shaming, but after showing yourself at the bottom all the time when you come with a hairdo, you appear with such weird grasshopper curls. Sorry if I'm upset. That's hilarious, Bolly.
Oh, I missed that. But anyway, I was like...
Yeah, she was a lot smaller here too, and I'm not fat shaming by any means, but that's a big part of her channel. Yeah,
I'm just trying to... Okay, so this is back for 2016 then. So I don't remember shit from them because that was 8 years ago, right?
This is her actually normal, and she gets crazier as it goes along.
I'm just trying to figure out, because I was trying to figure out what she was talking about. So she's bitching about 2016 and 2024?
No.
Not yet. We're not there yet. This is 2016.
Okay, thank you.
When Trump was elected the last time.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I did. Yeah.
You keep talking about stronger together, but you keep courting people who will never vote for you. Get it through your heads down. Democrats, Rust Belt people don't want to vote for you. White working class people do not want to vote for you. They would rather believe an orange huckster is going to...
Yeah, so, Kalari, I mean, just a little history on the Democratic Party. That was the history of the Democratic Party, is the Rust Belt voters.
To bring back coal mining jobs, then to be re-educated and get clean energy jobs. You have men, women, of LGBT, of Asian backgrounds, of African backgrounds, of all kinds of black backgrounds. You have Hispanic people. You have Muslim people who will have your back if you would motivate us and say that you know we're scared right now, that you know that it's killing us, that ICE is rounding up 10-year-olds.
Wait a minute. If they motivate them?
Hang on a second. Okay. Handled my question from the shopper.
Get off your ass and motivate yourself.
Well,
Any race, color, or creed.
Allegedly, she's a speechwriter.
Well, she sucks at it.
Allegedly.
That's speechwriter for what?
That's what's on her LinkedIn. She said she was a speechwriter for some candidate in Colorado, but she lives in Michigan. So, I don't know.
By what she said, yeah, we would be all right if you motivate us. I don't care.
That's probably a volunteer gig that she did, and they probably had to heavily edit whatever she gave them. I've done speech writing and social media for candidates as well, and I did it paid. It was a paid position, Kalari.
What color you are. Motivate your damn self.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Rhonda. When I read that, I was like, she's a speechwriter? No.
No. Right now, that they're targeting school buses and ambulances. We would have your back if right now you would say that no, it's not right, that millions of Americans right now are still suffering from the damages of Category 5 storms. We would have your back if you were taking on the NRA and saying enough is enough. Why is it that not even a month ago, 50 plus people and over 500 people were injured and killed in Las Vegas? Every
the
day,
Democratic
a
Party's
new
fault.
drama, a new constant, a new fire. We are trying to resist our country from going down the path of Nazi Germany, and people want to.
Oh,
my
my
God.
gosh.
You're joking,
Oh,
right,
shit.
lady?
Yeah, and that's coming later. Olaf
She is
said,
reaching so far.
oh, she gets worse. Oh, this
Oh
is
my God.
mild. This is mild. She thinks we're under the Fourth Reich now. She's always been throwing a terrible tantrum. Yeah, from everything I've seen, she definitely has. Reminds me of Barb giving speeches at college campuses on PTSD. She also said she had a diplomatic passport, but DC knows what a diplomatic passport looks like, and she said what Kalari held up was clearly not one. Why would she have a diplomatic passport?
Hello, Cordelia.
I'll have to find that. I'll have to see it. I'm really curious now. Yes, Capone is absolutely right. And Dusty Elizabeth,
I think we also need to know, why is she on disability? You know, and how long has she been on disability? Like, what's that all about? In regards to the weight gain, according to her, she gained a lot of it back by 2000, I think, and then had to start working her way back down.
literally thinks that she's going to be put in an internment camp. Oh,
But
wow.
why? Because she's black or what?
Basically, yeah. I've got 60
Okay,
people here. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you so much for coming in.
Argue about the primaries last year? And you Dems want to keep chasing the white working class and promoting people who aren't even Democrats like Bernie Sanders?
Oh my
When
God.
you've got people who've been going back for you for years, like Hillary Clinton, like myself, like others,
Right.
we're sick of it. We are like the neglected spouses right now, watching you chase this trophy.
White people weren't so bad because your boyfriend's white. So, I don't know what happened.
Which isn't a real
Really?
trophy. It is a damn booby prize. To say that they are the ones
I
that
would
we need
never
to be
vote for
fighting to
Hillary
get
either.
votes. No, motivate the people who have had your back so that I can tell.
Okay, obviously we want the votes of various ethnic groups. Yes. But you know who's more reliable and shows up to vote? The white middle class. Period. So that is the dumbest ass political advice ever, is to say, let's shut them out. Let's have a very exclusive message that does not include anything for them.
People in my community and beyond that yes, they hear us. We are not
Apparently
just
you haven't had his back. All you're doing is
Hey,
taking
Emma.
Hey, Emma.
I am up.
Until then, until we stop worrying
Hey,
about
sister.
transporters, until we stop worrying about people who would lay down their lives for the party that would pick their pockets clean and see them dead and do right by them.
Kate,
We are
I
going to be
love that
stuck with
movie.
this mess.
Kate, that is one of my favorite movies. I love
It is one of mine too.
Angela from Sleepaway Camp is awesome.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
amazing.
Kalari,
you gotta watch
Kalari
it.
did, yeah, you gotta watch it. It's like an 80s like slasher. It's really good.
But
Kalari
it has such a
here.
twist at the end.
Yeah, Kalari did have her teeth here.
Yes. I got to give it to the GOP. As much as I can't stand them, as much as I can't stand the fact that they keep on pushing the bullshit that, and sorry for that slip up. I tried to do this without a curse, but push that narrative that
Okay, Kevin.
somehow giving
Taking
rich
a bath.
a tax break is going to help the poor while taking health care from the poor. And their supporters eat it up. You know why? Because they make those supporters feel wanted. What are you doing for us, Democrats? What are you telling us when you pander to people who don't want you? When you make it about the white working class instead of the American working class? Because last I checked, working class comes in all ethnic backgrounds in our melted pot.
Yes, now
I'm tired of this, just like many others. And if you are still giving peace,
When did they do that, Kalari? When did they do that? Are you just making shit up again? What the fuck?
on the primaries of last year, if you're still stuck on that narrative, I'm done with you. We are tired collectively. And I say we because I have seen many people, and they come at me all the time saying, why are we still talking about this when there's a literal
Why are you still
dumpster
talking about
fire
this?
going on? Because Democrats can't get it together. You're playing the blame game. We need to be adults at this point. Everybody has a bit of fault in what happened.
Miss T, exactly.
Hey,
Yeah,
Renee.
her teeth dwindle down over the years. We will notice that in the videos. She has less and less as the videos go along. Hey, Renee.
Happened last year. Everybody did something last year, or could have did something more, but we didn't. And now
Wrong.
we are dealing with this. Trying to. I own up to my primary gaffe, but I made up for it, and I'm still trying to make up for it. Calling my reps every time something stupid gets passed, trying to get people to vote. But
Oh
do
my
you know
God,
how
one
hard
of
it is to motivate people, especially young people, to vote when the party that says they're for them are too busy still trying to court the white working class?
What? Sorry.
Get it together, Democrats. We're tired.
So
Good luck
Bro.
on trying to win an election with no white vote, because it's
Well,
not
it just
going to
kills
happen.
me that people feel that they can be Hi, Kitty. So racist towards white people. Like it's all our fault that things are happening.
You know,
Or
here's
not
the thing.
happening.
Support the black people. Support the brown people. Great. I agree with it. Support
I agree.
everybody.
Yeah.
Not to hell with the white people.
No.
Is it our fault we're
Everybody
born
should
in a
be
color?
included into everything. You can't. You can't be a person running and then just support only. I'm only going to support these people. Well, then you're not going to win.
Is racist.
What she is saying is very racist.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And if you want to take our country back, you have to start making us feel like we belong in this country. I'm Kalari Gamer Chick. My handle on Twitter is Kalari GC. I just really need to vent.
Oh, you sure did, honey. You sure did.
No, she really didn't.
Well, she vented.
Wow.
We consist. More of. Okay.
This one 3 years ago.
Exactly, Bolly.
So she goes from talking about politics to now she's going to talk about how she's a witch.
All right.
Oh, wow.
And then we're going to get
it.
into. Then we're going to watch how she's a sociopath.
Oh, that's not a good thing, is it?
No, it's not a good thing.
No,
I
but
didn't
sounds
think so.
about right.
What are you eating, Nan?
I'm sorry, dinner.
No. It's not bothering me. I'm just hungry now.
Yeah, Kevin, she might be planning an insurrection. Why didn't she cast an election spell? Failed.
Red beans and rice and jambalaya.
Oh, cool. That sounds good.
Gamer Chick, aka Sanisa Walker, aka the Gen X Cynics Witch on Twitter. I am just filming this brief
Michael.
introduction.
Yes.
When was this one?
This was 3 years ago. So,
Okay, I missed that.
she still has lower top lips covering her teeth. But from what I watched earlier,
Hey, beautiful. Regret.
hey, beautiful
Sorry.
regret. Thanks for coming in. She still has her teeth. Hey, Kennedy. This was before she started putting on the bonnet. Her hair also gets progressively worse.
Hello, Kennedy.
So, I don't know.
I hopefully will have a full-on hour-long look into the first historical
Oh, no, her teeth are chipping away. I've seen it. So they're almost gone here. So this was 3 years ago.
background of the series I want to do, but I wanted to take the time to do this introduction so that you know what to look forward to in this series that I want to do on modern day witchcraft and our
I guess, Emma, she said that they came out from bulimia. I don't know if that's been proven or not, that she actually had that. I don't know if she has shown any medical records.
I will tell you that I've seen somebody with teeth like that. I'm not saying it's her case at all, but with certain drugs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Elizabeth
Yeah,
said
could be bulimia. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you can understand what I mean, the average adult has 5 liters of blood, while the total volume of skin is about 2 to 3.5 liters. Minnie in Girl World had bulimia. Her teeth are not from bulimia.
ties to the past. The reason why I wanted to do this is I get a lot of people who ask me questions about being a witch, or even why I call myself a witch, when my faith that I most closely identify with is more closer to indigenous shamanism. And
shamanism, who have we heard that from before?
I just
watched Olaf's video, one where he was talking about being a shaman and blah blah blah. Yeah, that was bad.
The reason why is several reasons, but the main reason, it's easier for me to just say witch than tribal shamanism, because there are a lot of people who take shamanism, especially people who aren't.
Okay. I'm just going to pause here for a second and handle my groceries are about to arrive, and then I'll come right back. One thing that I like about Michael's panel is that they don't talk over each other that much. Like, I mean, it's inevitable that it's going to happen occasionally, but they're pretty well organized as a panel. And he had all of his clips ready to go, so there was no waiting a half hour before the content actually started. I very much appreciate people who come prepared and don't waste my time with filler. You know, he pretty much just spent a little bit of time at the beginning to greet his regulars and you know, got right into it. So I appreciate the efficiency of this particular live stream. On a side note, I have seen the drama with Amberlynn Reed, that she lost her cat and can't be troubled to actually go look for her. sorry. I mean, I feel really bad for the cat, but she's a neglectful pet owner. She doesn't even deserve to have pets. And, you know, karma, baby. Okay. Where were we? I have received my groceries. They have been put away, and my system is rearmed. So let's go.
Shamanism, especially people who aren't from a culture with ties to indigenous roots, and they twist it. Case in point, what happened last month with the Capitol riots, you've seen this highly entitled kid from, I believe, Brooklyn, that has really no indigenous ties, calling himself a shaman and saying things like, I have to have a specialized organic diet because of my faith. So there are just so many misconceptions when it comes to the spirituality of paganism. People don't realize that we are a blend of different cultures and beliefs.
He ran for Congress this year in Arizona. I don't think I actually, well, I know I don't. I don't know what the outcome of that election was, but hopefully he didn't win, you guys.
Only real key ties that I've seen with different bouts of paganism is the lack of organization, the push of individuality with your spiritual path. Even though there are sisterhoods, there are covens, there are band together. A lot of our thing is learning your path individually, what works for you spiritually, and not pushing this cliquish mentality that a lot of organized religion seems to have. One of the things that,
hey Red, how are you? So after watching this video, I'm wondering, like, did she sacrifice all the animals on her property? Because there's no more animals on the property, right?
Oh, you mean that big place that her grandfather bought or something?
Yeah, the one that she got like $3,000 from.
I read.
Well, it's disputable as to whether or not the animals ever existed while Carl owned the property. It sounds very much that from what has been going along, I think I got this from Olaf, is that the former owner actually took the animals with him. So this entire grift was so based.
Road sissy.
Oh, Kenny D's. Okay.
I'm done, Kenny D.
You're fine, Ann. He's just messing with you. Yeah, so I'm wondering. I watched this. That's why I'm playing this witch one, because I'm like, did she sacrifice the animals?
I talk about with being pagan is feeling a part of a collective, but not feeling like that collective keeps people out. And I'm not saying that we're a perfect religion. There are always going to be offshoots, people that use our symbolism, people that use our beliefs as a way to twist things. It's like that for any belief system. Even the lack of belief in any spirituality can be twisted by bad people. The thing is, for me, being pagan felt freeing. Being pagan felt less of trying to lower or humble myself because I was female, and a black female at that. I felt empowered by my vibes, not put off. I don't think that the way I conduct life is evil. And you'll see throughout history that there are cultures that revere people with a spiritual connection to nature versus those who vilify us and make us out to be evil. I wear several symbols.
You know, however you want to practice your faith is your choice. It's whatever. But the idea of you don't want to keep anybody out except white people, right? You don't want to keep anybody out except white people. You know, there are ways to target ethnic engagement and make that your passion without being such a bitch, without being a racist about it. This is why I was giving you crap early on in the election season that you weren't actually doing anything. Because if you were a real organizer, a real volunteer, you would be speaking differently online. You would have different stories to tell about what you were doing. And you were unable to recreate anything from the field that actually happens. We're going to pause for this trash truck. Okay, I think it's far enough down the street. Anyway, back to my point. Early on, before she even did the sock video, I was already suspicious of her supposed involvement in the election because it sounded like all she was doing was being a K-Hive troll and that she wasn't actually working with any official Democratic Party organization or the campaign or anything. And so I was asking questions like, do you know any black activists? Because I don't have any mutuals with you. And that seems strange, right? It seems strange. And especially if she says she voted for Bernie Sanders in the 2016 primary. There were a lot of black activists working on that campaign. One specifically who was working on reparations, a reparations package, which came back up in the 2020 election. Warren pulled it. She stole it, right? So anyway, let's get back to this shit show.
I want to talk about that. I wear the Egyptian Ankh, which is a symbol of health, fertility, and life. I wear the 5-pointed star, which is, I cannot wait to talk about the difference between paganism, the Christian religion, and the religion of devil worshiping, because a lot of people get that twisted. A lot of people will see this pentagram and assume that I worship the devil, which
No,
that's not what a 5-point star means to me and a lot of people who utilize a 5-point star. There are elements towards this symbol. Earth, air,
She has a
fire,
point about the
water, spirit. I'm not going to go Captain Planet on y'all, but it is important for people to realize, and I didn't tell Greg that I was taping right now. He told me to warn him because he likes to text bomb me. Anyhow, back to it. I will get to him later.
Oh, she's gonna beat Greg's ass later, is what she's saying.
Yeah, no problem, Kennedy. I understand.
She beats her husband. That's horrible.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what this whole DV history is that she keeps referring back to, because she's alluded to it being with her current partner, and she's also alluded to it being with her son. So I hope that Michael is able to get the details out on that.
I don't know if she actually beats him, but she definitely looks like she could take him.
The thing is, with knowing what this symbol means, I hope to help people ask less foolish questions, but I don't want to stymie people from asking questions, because the key to me, to my faith and paganism in whole, is knowledge. That is the most important thing on figuring out whether this is a path for you spirituality wise, is knowing that we're constantly seeking knowledge from the elders who didn't have written works, who definitely didn't have digital help to research plants and weather patterns and how to help bring life on, do midwife tactics. And
She's literally just rambling. She really, it's just she has no idea what she's talking about.
Right.
She's read a book and she's decided, I'm gonna be a witch.
I read
the
a bunch
fact
of
of the
books
matter
about
is, even though I call myself a witch, people need to understand that being a witch is not strictly female focus within paganism. And even though a lot of males would like to call themselves warlocks or druids, it's all the same thing. We are people that utilize our vibes and connection to the earth and nature for healing, for guidance in life, for interpreting what dreams mean, for different things. But I will take it another.
Misty, don't get me started on her makeshift greenhouse, because I watched that video earlier, and when she went outside and showed her greenhouse, all 5 plants.
Misty. Read what she wrote next.
I don't see anything else.
Oh, she just said about how her 2 tomato plants are going to get
Oh,
her
that's what I'm
family.
reading. Yes, I looked at her greenhouse. Her greenhouse has like 5 plants in it. Everything is dead.
It's going to get them through the rapture.
Yes, she's got 5 plants. Oh, Elizabeth fell off.
So obviously she's not Christian and doesn't believe in God if she's going to be here for the rapture.
Oh my gosh. Her greenhouse is a green net put up on her front porch. It's not a greenhouse. It's not a greenhouse. Just because it's a green net around the plants.
What is it, a mosquito net?
Literally, that's what it looks like.
Austin Sherry would
Level.
go
Even
on
though
a
I do
date with
believe in a
neither.
lot of natural things, I also believe in science. I also believe that there's a correlation between scientific fact, and especially dealing with the elements and nature and spirituality. I think that I hope that this series that I plan to do on YouTube will be helpful for people looking for information, curious, and for, yes, those who want to join the path, because there are just so many things that people, they twist. You got Hollywood's version of what witchcraft is, which is always showing off energy tossing and metaphysical actions that I wish we humans were wired to do that, but I don't, because we haven't even gotten it together on how to relate to one another just as basic human beings. You add actual physical powers to that, and this planet would be a really effed up place. I say that as you can see, a comic book fan. You imagine being able to really wield fire and lightning and air and ice with the bigotry. And
yeah, she's like a scientific witch that collects Funko Pops. And why are all like the witchy people? Why do they all like go to Comic-Con and stuff? Is that like a thing to become a witch? You have to be like in the comic books. It's so weird to me.
I have no idea.
It's like every time you go to one of those things or see it, you always see the girls walking around like with their pentagrams on and stuff. It's really weird.
Coffee girl.
Hey, Hopper.
Hello, Hopper.
hatred that our species seems to hang on to.
Hey, Kamikaze. If I didn't say hi to you,
That would be scary. No. What I believe in is will, intent, and being able to manifest physical things via the power of your inner focus. Say you have to get something done. Say you're fatigued and you need to recharge yourself, but you're not able to get rest. There are ways you can meditate. There are ways you can train your brain to power through something that you would normally not be able to get through because of being tired. Of course, you will need to rest after, and that is an important thing to anything in life is getting rest. But there are ways you can train your brain as a witch that I have seen to power through things that normal people just wouldn't be able to do. There are things about walking this path.
That's right. Willpower.
But you also have to be wary of those who claim things about this path that are not possible. There are always going to be those charlatans that claim they can see into the future.
It seems to me that anybody who is this dedicated to their faith would be more peaceful, right? But every single time she goes online, she's angry.
Now, I do not disprove or disbelieve that there are people that get dream visions and glimpses of things that might happen.
yeah, I don't know why. Coffee Girl, she does. Coffee Girl, I meant to message you about her earlier to let you know you would love this girl. Yeah, she's a witch. Like, why is it not? She's not manifesting better teeth, better hair. The greenhouse is not a greenhouse.
Well, she's definitely not a green witch.
Yeah, I guess she's like a scientific witch. I don't know.
I've never heard of one of those.
No, William Palmer, this is an older string. This is 3 years
No,
ago.
William.
Her teeth are just now starting to fade away.
But anybody who is really rooted in knowledge of metaphysical, supernatural, and this spirituality will tell you there is no control over that. And when you get a glimpse of anything that might potentially happen in a distant or even near future, it is only a glimpse and it is not set in stone. So be wary of anybody who tells you that they have a absolute gift, an absolute power, and they have control over it. There's a difference between those who utilize their faith with intent and have things happen, and those who say they can make things happen. Always be wary, and every faith has those kind of charlatans. But I do see a lot of people, especially who try to push New Age stuff, that will flat out lie about their abilities, and it gives pagans and it gives witches like me a bad name. You will never hear me.
You give yourself a bad name with this nonsense.
Claim that I have powers and abilities that I don't have. There are many facets to why I don't do that, but one of the main reasons is I also live with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. One of the first things they ask
I'm going to say it, and I've said it before. Why is it that everyone that has schizophrenia and bipolar, they're on YouTube? It's like the doctor tells them, get on YouTube. It's so weird.
Ask you is, do you believe you have powers? It's sad but true. I deal with a lot of schizoid thoughts, a lot of fear of things. Paranoia is a very big issue with what I have. But what I don't do is allow that to crisscross into my faith. And it's very hard, I'm not going to lie. But I want people to understand that because of my faith, I'm able to navigate this very real illness of mine. So I just want this whole series to be eye-opening. That, faith comes in different forms. And that walking such a path doesn't have to be intimidating, but there's a history to it. And there are people out there that still, to this day, vilify it. I remember living in Florida, which is part of the Bible Belt here in the U.S., for those of you who might watch this who aren't from America.
No, it's not. That's not where the Bible Belt is, Kalari.
The Bible Belt?
Is Florida part of the Bible Belt?
No.
Well, anyway, where I am, it's the Bible Belt.
Well, you're pretty far away from Florida.
We have a church on every corner, it seems.
I don't think Florida is part of the Bible Belt. I know, like, Alabama, Arkansas, stuff like that.
Miss T, make up your mind.
Yeah.
Even northern Texas.
Thanks, Coffee Girl. Yeah, 61 in here. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Share it out. Thank you very much. As always, my PayPal's pinned at the top. Feel free to donate. It's always appreciated. Never expected, though. Thank you, guys.
Wearing the symbol, I've had my 5-point star for, I think, over 20 years now. I walked away from the church in 1995, so well over 20 years. And when I had my son in this hospital in Florida, it was a Christian-based hospital, and you could see the looks. And you got them all over the Bible Belt. Whenever I walked around with my symbol.
She's full of shit. because not everyone that works at a Christian hospital is Christian.
That's right.
No, that's true.
So
Yeah.
she's full of it. Yeah, in a Christian-based hospital.
But
Yeah,
if
it
you're
all
not
goes
Christian, right,
back.
it doesn't-
Right, she's talking about a race right now without talking about it. She just loves to be like the martyr.
Is she talking about?
She's basically saying when she had her son, the hospital she was at, which it was a Christian hospital, so it was probably called like St. Matthew's or something like that, or Mercy Hospital. And because she had this necklace on,
Right.
all the people at the hospital were just giving her looks, which it's not true.
Showing I was met with either looks of or outright rude questions about why I'm wearing such a symbol.
They never ask you that.
No, I would never ask anybody that.
No, she's lying.
I mean, I've asked people, being a Christian myself, I mean, I've asked people, why do you believe in like, you're Wiccan? Why do you believe in that? What brought you to be that way? Like, what brought you to believe in that, right? I've asked that, but I've never, said, well, you shouldn't be that. You should be something else. Like, never.
Exactly.
That's not my choice. That's your choice. And if you choose that, who cares?
Exactly, Leslie. They could have been fired for that. She's lying. I mean, she may have had one nurse that said, oh, what's your necklace? Like, what's it mean? That may have happened, but no, not the judgment. She's lying.
But I had a midwife nurse who looked at my symbol and then smiled at me. And it gave me a sense of peace even before she opened up her mouth to say what I felt she was going to say, actually. I didn't want to say I knew. She then pulled down part of her scrub shirt and showed her symbol. And just feeling, because I was a new mom at the time.
She makes it sound like a cult, a sister witch.
Yeah.
I think she just got done watching like American Horror Story, and that's where she's coming up with this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and look at that freeze frame of her face. Her tongue is getting stuck in her teeth.
What teeth?
Well, it's getting stuck in the cracks.
Yeah.
I didn't really have my family. They were coming down to pick me and my son up. The sense of peace I got from that, because it was a fellow sister looking out for me in a very vulnerable time. I just had a baby. I was by myself. I was coming out of a very bad situation. It gave me this sense of peace. Seeing
Exactly,
a woman,
Leslie. Hi, baby girl.
like, living in the Bible Belt, is bold about her faith path. So I'm telling you, I'm excited to do the series just based on that alone, because there are just so many of us out there that, especially now with the pandemic, we don't congregate anyway. We're constantly just looking for knowledge, keeping ourselves healthy, keeping our family and friends healthy, and giving out advice when people ask us. I want you to know that you're not alone. I see you. I see you whether you
Capone, I know which one you're talking about, and I cannot think of her name. I know which one it is.
identify as male, female, or non-binary, because there are non-binary witches out there too. And shout out to you.
Wow.
Because there's so much people don't know about us. So much amazing things that people don't know about us. I want you to
Oh my gosh.
not only
She makes it
highlight
sound
our
like she's
but
the only witch.
showcases beliefs.
She does,
And,
yeah.
and Wiccans just suddenly, came to be because of her.
Yeah, well, Precious. I can't think of Gabrielle Sidife or something like that.
Around the
Watching
world.
too much supernatural stuff.
Every single human culture has a tie to either witchcraft, shamanism, spiritualism that is not tied to organized religion. And there are cultures that still to this day revere and love their shaman.
Ray said, hi, just want to let you know I just spent 5 minutes trying to cast a stream on my TV to get a text from my husband that I've been playing it on my toddler's TV over and over. Oh, thank you.
And spiritualists. And then there are also religions groups and organizations that try to stamp us out. And you will see how certain things have been twisted, including things like the threefold rule, which I've gone on a tangent on Twitter about. I do not like these weird rule sets. And things in Hollywood, like American Horror Story, is weird.
Oh
stuff
my
that
gosh.
there can
There
only
you
be
go.
one Highlander
Of course she brought up American Horror Story.
Yeah,
because that's where she got all this from.
rule for witches. That even though it's fun to watch, I always look at it with a side eye, because why would anybody try to hold back another person's abilities? But that's how they play us against each other. That's how Hollywood sees women with any
actually-
sorts of power. You're going to see the
Weirdo.
Someone doesn't-
No, it's just like in the books I read. Okay, so I read cozy mysteries, and a lot of them are witches in these mysteries. Okay, a lot of them are witches, and I don't, whatever. Being a Christian, whatever, I read it because it's fun and it's just something bedtime reading. But a lot of them, and they all basically, a lot of them are different authors. But I know that they do their research because they all basically say the same things. Like the pentagram is not a bad thing; it has something to do with them. But everybody always thinks it has. If you see a pentagram, it has to do with the devil. So I mean, if people were looking at her because she had a pentagram on, well, they're misinformed, right? But anyway, some people, she's talking about, well, people, they wouldn't be suppressing us and blah, 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 blah. Well, in the book, sometimes people do suppress their witchiness or don't let them know about the witchiness because of the fact of what went on back in the day, right? Where if you show that you're good with using herbs or, stuff like that and healing, then yeah, back in the day, they killed people for that. So a lot of places, I think still in the States, are still, like you said, there's sundown places, right, Michael?
Yeah, that still happens.
Yeah. So there's still places in the States and stuff that don't come out as Wiccan. They hide it. They keep it, on the down low. So yeah.
way that entertainment in itself takes the roles of witchcraft and automatically either villainizes us or makes it seem that women with power are just dangerous and will attack each other. It's going to open your eyes, some of the things that I point out in this series. And it is not to...
I don't know what power she has, Anne.
Well, it certainly ain't green power because she can't grow anything.
Certainly isn't political power.
Or gardening power.
Yeah, Hollywood, because I'm just happy to have representation of witchcraft, period. I just hope, especially with shows like WandaVision showing the fun side, but yet realistically human side to anything power related, that we start really researching and showing the differences between the fake fluff and special effects and the realities of what it means to have spiritual ties that aren't organized and that are more towards natural intent.
Does she not
I'm
understand
going to wrap this
Hollywood?
up, go answer my text, because I'm pretty sure he's going to say, you didn't text me saying you would tape in. But I just wanted to give this brief introduction to what I intend on doing with this series. And I hope that if it sounds interesting to you, that you tune in for the next one. I am not really a YouTuber, so I'm not going to ask for you to follow or like.
Oh, but you became one.
Like or subscribe, because that's on you. I am just going to do this whether people watch it or not, just so that people have it out there. And if you have questions about what it means to be pagan, especially if you're new to it and just curious, you'll have a place where you can click on, here's what this woman thinks. And I will always preface any video that I do on this that I am not the...
Let's talk about the grammatical errors. Preface, which should be preface. Caveat, which should be caveat. Like, she is supposed to be a speechwriter. She's supposed to be an author of a book series. And she doesn't know basic English.
Authority on this, and that you should constantly look for other sources of information. That is the most important thing you can do in this. But I'm going to wrap this up.
Okay, you wrap that up, girl.
Now, I have just a comment, I guess.
Yeah,
she seems to say everybody else needs to do this or that, but she puts nothing on herself.
Right.
What she has to do. Like, y'all need to do this. You need to motivate us. She does nothing about what we need to do, as in herself.
Hey, Leslie, what book are you talking about?
Yes, exactly.
And apparently she knows nothing about Wiccanism. I have many friends that are Wiccans. I myself am Christian. But she's making no sense. First she says she doesn't use any kind of power. Then she says, the power I have. What the hell? Make up your mind what you're going to do.
By the way, just from what I read in my books, it's always good to have, like, the power of, like, earth, wind, fire, and what am I missing?
Water.
Water, thank you. Yeah, the 4 elements.
Yeah, so now we see the hairstyle has really fallen off. The teeth have gotten a little bit worse.
Why did she glue 2 pink cotton balls on her head?
It's gotten pretty bad here.
Hey y'all, welcome to this week's edition of my mental health vlog. I like to think that I follow a lot of my gut when I do these vlogs. I originally was going to talk about why I decided to do this, especially since it isn't easy. We are still not in a place where people even understand mental health well enough to feel 100% confident or comfortable talking about my life with mental health, and especially at my age. So I was going to talk about that, and then an opportunity to talk about something else popped into my lap that can touch upon a lot of what I was going to talk about anyway. And the reason for this is because I'm very active on social media, mostly Twitter. I just don't have it in me to have like Instagram or Facebook. I try not to be on my Facebook page at all because my mom is still currently trying to reach out to me, and she doesn't get the point of I've cut her off and I need my distance. So it's been an ordeal, to say the least. And having social media helps me stay social because as somebody who's diagnosed as a social...
Is that a bra indent, Emma? I thought she was wearing shoulder pads.
No, it's an indent. And I know somebody who just got a reduction from her, like a reduction. And yeah, that's an indent.
Oh.
She doesn't have indents anymore.
Elizabeth, you fell off again. Are you having problems, Elizabeth? You got the link whenever you want to come back up.
Sociopath. One of the things that I know about myself is that I can cut people off. That it doesn't hurt me as much as it would most people to have limited, if not no contact with other human beings. But in the same vein, there are times where I do like talking and interacting with people, especially online.
I think it's important to remember that she just had her son, I think, or she has her son. No, I don't know what year she had her son. But there is a grandchild involved in this situation, and so she's cut her mom off from having a relationship with her grandchild. For what? Because you guys bicker? Okay.
Where I feel a bit more control over the levels of who I interact with and what I want to have back and forth. Now, I've worked on myself with that because I know that I came from a place even 10 years ago on Twitter where I played all the social manipulation games.
What?
And I had to learn the hard way that you get what you give. So I like giving people a chance. Unless they're obviously trolling me or trolling people that I enjoy talking to, I try to give people with a difference of opinion chances. But what I don't think people understand is how you come across when you talk to people who are living through stuff. And especially with mental health, and especially with racism. And the reason why I bring this up in this vlog today is because a lot of that happened to me today. And I'm not trying to say this as putting intentions on people. I'm trying to explain to you, especially if you're a non-Black person and non-POC in general, how you come across online when you're talking to people who have lived experience. And
I really don't like this girl.
Especially all the non-Black people, make sure you're listening. She's speaking.
Oh my gosh, she is very racist. Like, very.
All you guys listen up.
Do her and Elaine talk. Possibly Emma.
Yeah,
Possibly.
they probably do.
Years with mental health issues. Somebody who loves history, who the only...
The trash truck's coming back up. Okay, I think it's going in the other direction. You know, it's important also to realize that she has recently said that she can't go to Thanksgiving with her partner Greg's family. I guess they were Trump voters, and I imagine they're all white because he's white. And so there again, she's cutting off relations, family relations, from her son due to her own problems with not being able to maintain relationships at the adult level.
The reason why I don't have a current degree in historical studies is because it was discouraged by the people who shouldn't have discouraged any of my path. It just troubles me the way people talk to people of color online.
Oh my gosh, it troubles me the way people talk to the people of color. God, you know,
she needs help. She freaking
I'm not saying that racism does not exist. Obviously, it exists every single day. But this girl, you can clearly tell, someone that looks like Kalari probably doesn't leave her house very often. So I don't know what racism she's really encountering in everyday life.
And I don't think some of you realize how big...
She lives in Michigan now.
I know, but I found that, you know, down in the States, people of color, oh my God, sorry, my knee, are very, just very, you know, out there, not flamboyant, but, you know, they, you know, they're not...
Well, no, not all, Black people are the same.
Well, no, of course not. But, you know, I've never noticed anybody who would, you know, like you said, somebody who looks like her. Or somebody like her.
Well, I'm talking about someone that streams as much as her.
Okay, good.
I'll just say it. At one time, she was pushing 600 pounds.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm not fat shaming her, but come on, 600 pounds.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you're not exactly going.
You're not going out there.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Olaf. Don't get mad at me. Hello, Big Petty.
Oh, Leslie said, "Don't you get that, Michael?" I know she lives in Michigan now. She's lived in North Carolina, Florida. From what I found out, one social media thing she has on her that she's originally from Staten Island or Long Island in New York. So I would guess she's lived there also.
That you come across when you do that.
And that might be where the use thing is coming from, if she's actually from New York.
The problem is, you don't even realize or feel like you're being bigoted as you share articles with a person like me about personality tests.
You shouldn't be.
And with this blog, I want to explain, this is not for you to attack anybody I've had a back and forth with. If you,
Emma, I would love to see that costume. Because
me too.
I used to watch her quite a bit, and I love watching the parody videos of her.
See me dialoguing, even if the person I'm dialoguing with says something that contradicts me, I don't need defenders. That's the problem I see with a lot of people who want to follow me, which I love y'all. If I didn't, I wouldn't put up with Twitter. I'm being 100% honest with this. I love you in a way that isn't like normal love. Before people go, oh, you're a sociopath, how do you love? I realize that when I say I love people, it's just I love what I can get out of this situation. I'm honest about that.
Wow.
But what I don't love is when people take a back and forth that's civil and turn it into a big war. And the problem with Twitter for the last few years is that every difference of opinion turns into a big war. Everybody takes sides and you gotta be right, you gotta be wrong. No. I want to get back to having civil discussions, even if we're coming from a different area. And it's hard to do that on Twitter. Even making the thread I made about the situation, I was in my mind so worried that people were going to go after the original poster and then a subsequent poster in my thread that I would just take this down. And it shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to fucking referee my own threads. Now, if somebody is blatantly trolling, because we've all had that, people who use slurs, who just want to get you want to go at them before I block them, that's your business. So
Call
I'm
yourself
tired
a
of people seeing
sociopath.
difference of opinions and different perspectives as a way to draw battle lines. It makes me anxious, and it makes me a lot less likely now that my home life is getting a lot better and I could be spending time with Axiom instead than being on social media where everybody's fighting. Y'all need to chill with that because it's really annoying. But to get back to the point,
What is she
yesterday,
watching?
I don't know what she's looking at. I'm not sure.
Like, what is she
Axiom-
watching that she's getting all this stuff from?
Exactly my point, Dusty. I don't think she
Yeah.
leaves the house. I think she looks all this stuff up and then she just fires up a live. Axiom, yeah, the way she just made it sound was like Axiom was her son's name, but it's not. Axiom is a book that her and her, is Greg even her husband?
I agree, Cordelia. She does. She's just emitting that across the screen at me.
Because Greg and her have different last names. So did she just not take Greg's last name?
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just common law.
Oh, Capone said they are married.
Got you.
Being-
That makes a lot more sense.
She has no Ariel, so she spends all her time like bar watching. So, yes, Emma, there's a lot of similarities.
just online, a friend of mine who's also an introvert did a personality test. I personally like certain personality tests. I know they've been debunked. I've seen the Aaron Drew and everything. I went and I did research after watching that TV show because it's one of my favorite true TV shows. And yeah, you find out that the history of the Myers-Briggs personality test isn't good. But if you studied actual history, which a lot of you don't because you think knowing history
Right.
equals shame, that a lot of the stuff that we have today has sullied history. And the problem with Myers-Briggs is it's not peer tested or reviewed, and that's because a lot of people just want to debunk it as pseudoscience. Now, I understand how dangerous pseudoscience can be. We live in a time where people don't want to get life-saving vaccinations because they think it affects their mental health and other disproven notions. So we are in perilous times where pseudoscience can be very dangerous. But I had to stop and think
Emma said Olaf officiated their wedding. That's funny.
about something that was tweeted at me about the personality things that didn't sit right with me. Because unlike the personality test, which I took with a grain of salt, especially after finding out about Myers-Briggs and the whole eugenics lean and the whole racism lean that the trait system originally started from, and wonder if the person who was telling me about that and what I felt was a condescending way, but I didn't want to make a big thing about it, understood that A, I knew the origins, which a lot of people, when they give articles and stuff like that to people of color, y'all come across as you're telling us that we don't understand.
Oh, the irony of you calling anybody condescending. Well, this is the type of crap you've been spewing for years online. Oh my God.
The history of things. You need to stop. You need to learn how to word your tweets. Because I understand for some of you, especially if you're in that field of psychology, that you think pseudosciences are bad for your profession. But what I'm telling you is that I was treated more humanely by words on a screen than your profession.
There, she talks about
And
tweets.
the
So she's
problem
on
I
Twitter.
feel is that people act like stuff that's rude.
Yeah, she is on Twitter. She's on a couple different things.
Well, then she just said the way you word your tweets, so we know she's getting it from there,
Yes, a lot of her info comes from Twitter.
or X, or whatever it's called.
She's also on Spoutable. That's where she posts there every day.
On what?
It's called like Spoutable or something like that.
Oh,
I've shared
I
the link
have no idea.
early in the chat. It's way up there. The link, her link for that is actually in the chat, but it's at the very top.
Rooted in a negative always has to be a negative. Yes, the original trait people who came up with the concept were garbage. I don't lie about that. I even made in my original tweet where I found a personality test that I feel was more in depth. It felt like they did actual research before they put this out. It was fun to read. I'm going to continue to go to the site because I enjoyed the analysis that I got. And I know confirmation bias is a thing too, before people started on that. But I felt a lot more at ease reading this breakdown of what they felt was my personality. I answered the questions 100% as honestly as I can, including being neutral about stuff that I didn't quite understand what they were trying to get because I overanalyzed a lot of stuff. It felt like they took my answers and gave me a breakdown that didn't just pigeonhole me into one type, but explained a lot of stuff that I know I personally do, that I know I personally feel when interacting with people, and doesn't negate the stuff that I go through.
Okay, so I'm going to pause here at 104:57 in the live stream and make this part 1, and then I'll come back and do a part 2.